Yeah, so Brock Purdy did exactly what you asked him to. Probably did what you didn't. I'm not caping for Brock Purdy anymore. That game sucked. He didn't do anything. It did not look great. But can you finally admit that there's nothing that he can do to make you a believer?
So here's the thing. What an odd circumstance that game was.
Dude.
Oh, well, listen. So David Lombardi, who I guess, writes for The Athletic and is a beat reporter, but he is the same person who had the since deleted tweet that Brock Purdy is, Drew Brees' accuracy combined with Lamar Jackson's athleticism. That guy, he wrote an article. Yeah, that was a real tweet that existed. Saying Brock Purdy answered every single doubt and criticism by delivering a comeback playoff drive that has immediately become part of 49ers legend. That's what Joe Montana used to do. And I wrote, honest to God, if that's your takeaway from this game, I truly question your ability to cogently watch, analyze, and discuss football. And I stand by that. So it was a weird spot because Purdy did check, like I set up these theoretical boxes to check, and he checked them all in one drive. Down in the game, huge game, not with all the Avengers, and he executed the game-winning drive. That happened. What's unfortunate for the Brock Purdy discourse is the previous 3 hours of football were on television too. And he was awful. And so, yes, you do get credit for that game-winning drive. Yes, that is critically important, but it was kind of Purdy and Josh Allen's games were kind of the bizarro versions of themselves, where Josh played really as well as you can play up until the end, and Purdy played as poorly as you can play up until the end. And he was very, very lucky, was Brock, that that game was not out of reach. Attempted to throw 2 pick sixes. The Packers got hosed on a couple early spots when they went for it on that 4th down. Not so much on the 4th down sneak, but on the 3rd down play when I think they thought they were inches away, but they spotted him a full yard short. A lot of ways, not to mention obviously the missed kick, where that game should have been out of reach, but it wasn't. But here, and people can say, Nick, you hold him to an unfair standard. I hold him to the standard of I was being called an asshole for not saying he could be the MVP of the league. Like Brew yesterday said that I was moving the goalposts, and I understand that. But in my opinion, the real goalpost moving is now folks are like, well, he's young and he was the last pick of the draft. Let's evaluate him on that metric. If we want to evaluate him on that metric, I give him a round of applause. If we want to evaluate him on the metric he was discussed all year, which is he might be the MVP of the league and he's setting records, did you watch the game? And I ask the same question that I was asking all year. Were people comfortable having a discussion about a player being league MVP when forget is he the best player on his own team? We all know he's not. The more honest question is this. Is he the weak link of the Niners? Yes. The answer is yes. I'll tell you this much. I don't know what the weather forecast for Santa Clara is on Sunday, but if it's supposed to rain, I think the Niners should ask Detroit if they want to host the game. I think the Niners would rather play a road game in a dome than watch Brock Purdy play another game in the rain. And so I understand I'm being stubborn on this. I'm not wrong. And credit to him for that final drive. Honestly, I do give him credit for that. And it does matter. But we all saw that game and how bad he was. And how lucky he was that it was not way out of hand very early because of his mistakes. And let's see how this next weekend goes. Because the discussion is going to go real quick depending if this weekend goes poorly. If Brock plays poorly against this defense in Detroit and they lose,
I don't think he's the quarterback next year. I don't.
Well, let's just monitor what the Kirk Cousins discussions are. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.